Hey, what's going on, Skyview? It is Christos, and we are here on June 1st, 2017. 2017, almost halfway done here. Pretty crazy. What's not pretty crazy is the SPY up around 0.44% today, breaking out to new highs. That is not crazy because that is just about all we've been getting over the last couple years. Seems like every other week is a new high, setting a new high again today. And of course, that makes the VIX contract a little bit. VIX down just under 2% right now. But after a couple back-to-back days of plus 5% or so, plus 4, plus 5%, I guess we can afford to take back a little bit, but can't really afford much when you're in these historically low volatility levels here. So same old story with the VIX, same old story with the SPY, and same old story with us too, right? We have to continue to stay active. Looking at our portfolio today, nice P&L for the day here, setting our account back up through new highs, which is nice. One thing that caught our eyes today is this XRT position that we have on in June that is up $56 for the day. Very nice P&L for the day there. If we drop this down, we do see we are in a June position and with only 15 days left. So once we get around this 15-day mark or under 21 DTE or under 14 DTE, anywhere in this area, we really want to start doing some cleanup to our portfolios and getting rid of all those positions where we can. Now, you guys know we stay patient with our losers, so the only ones we can really get rid of or that we want to get rid of are ones that have, small wins. Now, we sold this iron condor here for $2.03, and with the $56 profit that we have on it today, it is now trading for $1.80. So it's not a huge win, but nonetheless, it is still a small win, and that's just what happens or what is possible when you're patient with your losers. Those big losers can turn into these small wins, and that is always nice. Not losing money is just as good as making money sometimes, and in this case, we're even up a bit. So that is really nice. We are going to look to take this off. One thing that could potentially cause a problem for us taking this off, or not a problem, but just might make it a little difficult to get a fill, is you see this 47 call. This 47 call right now has a mark of 0.005, less than 1 penny. It is literally worthless. Pretty much means that it doesn't have a bid. So if we just take a look at it in the option chain here, we can scroll down and find our 47 call that we are long, and you can see there is no bid. So I suspect that we're not going to be able to take this full iron condor off at the mid price because of that. So why don't we just take a look here? Let's look to put in the order, just highlight everything, click confirm and or create closing order. And of course, usually the first one, we just want to make sure that all of the strikes listed here are in fact the strikes that we want to get rid of. And because we only have one position on XRT, that is the correct one. That is the one we want to get rid of. So, not a wide spread, only about 6 cents wide. That's nice. But like I said, I don't think we're going to get filled at the mid price because of the bid ask on that long option. So we'll just sit here for a second and we can see that we aren't filled. So we really have a couple options at this point. We can either walk our order up toward the mid price, toward the natural price, right? With every time we walk it up, we get closer to a fill. But just for some educational purposes here, let's take a look at doing something else. So I'm going to cancel this order, just completely get rid of it. And then I'm going to go back into the option chain. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just try to close our short strikes. We are short the 43 call and put. You can see our position here and our position here. And then if we take a look at the long put that we have, it's trading, right? There's a bid, there's an ask, it's a tight spread. So this is something that we can easily get rid of as well. Again, as opposed to something like our long 47 call, which literally has no bid. If it has no bid, that means no one's trading there, right? So let's try to do this instead. Essentially, we're short a straddle here, right? We're short the 43 call and we're short the 43 put. That is what's called a straddle. What we can try to do is buy the straddle back at around mid price. So what that means is we would buy here and then buy here. That's one way to do it. And then if you look down here, you can see we're buying the straddle back for a debit of 187. So that's one way to do it. And then you can just click confirm and send right from here. Or you could go back to your position statement and you can just highlight what you want to get rid of. Or this is the new layout, so I guess you can't individually. Yeah, you can't individually click on strikes. That's okay. What we can do is just right click, click create close and order, and then find what we want to close. And remember, what we want to close is a straddle, right? So if we look here, buy +1 straddle, 43 call and put, $1.87, the exact same thing we just looked at. So we can click it in there and mid in that, very tight spread. Let's see if we get filled at the mid price here. No fill at the mid price there either. So that makes me feel like, okay, maybe I'm not saving a whole ton by trying to break up this order like this. And if you're paying for transaction costs, then it really doesn't make sense to break up the order. But we aren't paying for transaction costs, right? We just pay per option. So since we're not filled here at the mid price either, and we can see the mid price kind of moving up on us, right? 188, 189 now. It's just at 187. Let's try it again. Maybe we're not at the right mid price. And you can see mid really moving on us. So let's buy it back at 190. Or let's try to buy it back at 190. Click confirm and send there, right at the mid price again. Hopefully we get a fill. Still no fill. So now this is making me feel like, maybe I'm just doing too much work. Maybe we can get a fill on the whole Iron Condor spread, 1 or 2 cents off of the mid price. And if that's the case, we might as well give it a try. But you can see the mid continuing to move up on us here. So let's get rid of this, right? Let's just cancel this whole order again. And let's see if the Iron Condor, closing it in full, maybe a penny off the mid price will work. So we're closing our whole Iron Condor now, and let's go 1 penny up off the mid price to 185, and let's see if that closes. Nope, doesn't look like that's working either. So let's go back to trying to close the straddle. Well, first, why don't we just try 186? 186 doesn't work, then it might be worth trying to break up the order. And again, we're really not saving much doing this. We're saving a couple of bucks, but I just want to, looks like we're filled on it. So we did not even need to close the straddle individually and then close the long put. So we only had to go a couple cents off the mid price to get that fill. If we decided to go, or we could not get filled at that price and we were walking it up and we still weren't getting filled and we're very close to the natural price, then it might have been worth just taking a look at the option chain, closing down the straddle, the 43 straddle, and then going to our 39 and just close this individually. And if we had done that, we would have just been left with that 47 long call. I believe it was the 47. Yep. We would just be left with this 47 long call, which is basically going to expire worthless. And if it didn't expire worthless, it could only help us, right? Because we're long a call. And if it didn't expire worthless, it would mean that it is increasing in value, and that would be good for our long call. So if we closed everything else out and just left us with this 47 call that was worthless, it's not like it would be adding any extra risk or anything like that. It could actually only get better, right? Because we purchased this because we're long it, or we were long it, and we purchased it, I don't know, for say 10 cents, and now it's trading for nothing. So on this individual option, we actually lost a little bit of money, but we don't care about that. We care about the Iron Condor as a whole. So I just wanted to stress that point a little bit, guys, and actually kind of wanted to show you how you could break up the closing order, but in this case, we really didn't need to. So no point in doing it just for educational purposes if we don't even need to do it. You know, it would be a better educational lesson if I showed it to you guys when it was actually needed. And in this case, it wasn't really needed. We were filled a couple cents off the mid price, and that is pretty normal. Like I had mentioned, it was a smaller win, but we only took the win because it was pretty much a gift today. So if we just go back maybe around 30 days or so, I'm sure we can find our opening order. This is just the closing order that we did today. The opening order should pop up. Maybe not. Maybe we have to go back 45 days to catch this opening order. Come on. There it is. So we initiated this trade on 425 for 203. Just bought it back for 185. So that's an 18-cent winner. An 18-cent winner is much better than any loser, right? And this was a loser for a little while, and patience bailed us out, as it does fairly often. But we have to stay in the game if we want to have a shot at something like that. Let's go to the chart. I believe I have my price slices up. We initiated this trade on 425, so we can check it out on the chart. Beautiful. The price slices are up there. So 425 was, we'll zoom in even more. Oh boy. 425 was right here. This day right here was 425, and then you can see the yellow lines are our max profit area. You can see it kind of went sideways for a little while, and then whoosh, a pretty big sell-off that just kind of took us off the dance floor, tested our short put, but just kind of hung around there, and then one little pop today, you know, back into our max profit area, a little bit of contraction in volatility. Let's see what volatility did over the life of the cycle here. 425. So it looks like volatility went down a little bit, contracted a little bit from when we put the trade on, which is nice, but we also do have to have price kind of stay within our zone, within our area, right? And it wasn't, but all we needed was a nice little pop right back into our max profit zone, and that gave us a beautiful P&L for the day today, and in turn allowed us to take it off for a small win. So that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something from it. Thank you for listening, and until the next video, take care.